Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Ask For It podcast. Today, we're going to talk about a part of the sales that a lot of people struggle with, a lot of people love. It's very exciting, and it's the one that really gets your heart going just before you get that client, and it's the close. This is where a lot of people actually end up talking themselves out of it. So let's put ourselves into a scenario, right? Okay, a client comes in, they email you, they walk through your door, they're calling you something, they come across your website. You talk to them. They're liking your product, they're finding it interesting. You show them some proposals. And now we walk into several different scenarios. One, they ghost you. They're gone. I'm sure that's happened to so many people. It's happened to me. Two, they're like, let me think about it. And then they take their sweet time. They have your proposal in their hands. They're thinking about it. They're talking to their mom, their dog, who knows? And then you pretty much can count them as a loss. Three, they just book it. Okay. Three, ideal client. Oh my God, we love them. But most of the time, everyone's going to fall into the first two buckets. So, how do we tackle that? Okay. So, let's talk about ghosting. How do you avoid it? Sometimes you can, but we as salespeople have to stay in control of the whole deal cycle so that you can really mitigate the risk and the probabilities of them ghosting you. And the way to do this is never put the ball in the client's court. You always have to keep it going, even if the client thinks that the ball's in their court. Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit. So let's pretend here that you gave them pricing. Okay, they have your proposal in their hands. Now don't end the call. Don't just say like, okay, I'll let you think about it and just book it on my site. Here's a Calendly link or however you do your bookings. No, instead, build a plan with them and co-create the plan. So you let the client think that they're kind of in control of it. So for example, you can say, okay, and also ask more questions, right? So say, when do you want to get started? What's your urgency behind it? Learn more about why they're booking this and what the urgency is. And if there is no urgency, your job is to create urgency. Say, oh, our sessions are booking up really quick. Or I only have enough time for this type, like until the end of this month. Or we have special pricing. Even if the pricing's not being publicly shown, it's not a discount for everybody. Not everyone knows what each other's paying, all your clients. So you can always offer a discount, offer something urgent with the timing, say that you're packing in, come up with something, and then co-create the plan. So say like, okay, let's just come up with some dates, right? So let's say end of the month. So say, okay, they want to book before the end of the month. They need to get started right away. To really put this scenario in place, this is pretend it's like your photography studio, okay? So let's say they need to do a photo shoot by the end of the month for their branding. All right, this is how you do it. So you say, okay, here's your pricing. The pricing is valid until the end of the month. I understand that you want to move quick. I can move quick too. How about we put a tentative date to regroup in 2 business days? Are you free at this time? Send over an invite. Trust me. And even if they say like, oh, I don't know if I'm free, say, you know what? Let's just put it on the calendar. We can move it if you need to move it. But this puts another touch point. So now the likelihood of them ghosting you is so much less because you have that touch point with them. Now, in order for them to ghost you, they have to do more work. They have to go in there to cancel it. They have to message you. There's something to it. Of course, some people just won't show up, and that's going to happen. So I'm not saying that that's impossible, but the likelihood of it is much lower. So stay in control of the deal cycle. And these are larger deals where they have to go talk to more people or understand like different decision makers along the chain in a corporate structure. Work the plan with them. Say, okay, we have our start date for August 30th. What needs to be done between that time for us to get started? Do you need to talk to a legal team? Do you need to talk to your business partner? Find out all these details. And then you can say, okay, I understand you have all these things to do before you can sign the contract, but I'm going to pencil you in for August 30th as your date. And if anything changes until that time, and let me know, but I need you to sign it by this date. Give them the deadline. And that way you're in control the whole time. So that will help mitigate the ghosting aspect that happens in sales. And it can work within any line of business that you're in, from smaller deals to larger deals. Okay, client profile number 2. Let me think about it. So this must happen to everybody. And it happens to me too all the time. But again, you always counter with questions. So in sales, number 1 advice I give to all my clients is never start pitching. So when someone says, let me think about it, don't jump in and be like, oh no, but like you need this product, you need this service, I can offer you a discount. Don't negotiate against yourself. Okay, stop, let them say, they said, I need a time to think about it. First, you need to address it. So say, oh, okay, like I understand, right? Don't get defensive. You want to diffuse the situation. And then you want to go into discovery mode. Why do they need more time to think about it? So start asking some questions. Ask them, say like, okay, cool. Okay, I understand you need some time to think about it. Do you need to talk to anybody about it? Or is it budget? Is it just the timing? Or do you find that I didn't fully capture your needs in the proposal? And trust me, you'd be so surprised by what you hear here. And another one thing here that a lot of salespeople don't do, active listening. When the client starts to talk, when you're asking questions, listen. Just actively listen to their problems, nod your head, show that you're in it, and don't start solutioning in your head. Never jump to the solution right away. You need to understand their problem so properly that you can exactly fit your product in it, which goes into the third step, which will be mostly the solutioning there. So now that you understand the exact problem, you're not going to negotiate against yourself, right? So let's say the problem was that they needed to talk to their business partner. Thank goodness you didn't start discounting the product, right? Because imagine that. And then he would have been like, oh, okay, like, yeah, sure, it's price, when the price was never the problem. Now it's just he's talking to his business partner. So the way you say is like, okay, great. Like, how about you give me their name and their number and let's set up a call together and walk through the proposal. And now do you see the difference? You went from let me think about it to an action plan. So when you're in sales, always take the time to understand why the customer is hesitating. Ask pointed questions to find out what the real problem is. A lot of times clients just react and it's emotion. You're trying to sell them something. You're trying to initiate a change in their life. A lot of people don't want to just give up money to do something, and that's okay. So as a salesperson, you need to put on that kind of therapy hat per se and listen, understand, and kind of be part of the change with them. And if the client feels like it was their decision to make the change, then it's not truly a huge change brought up by someone else. So you want to be that person that's like guiding them through it, but in the end, it feels like they made the decision. So if you can do those types of tips, you'll avoid the two client scenarios and you'll have them towards booking. So try those tips out today. I'm sure you all have clients in your cycles that's somewhere along those lines. And if someone ghosted you, try and reach back out. That's my action item today. Just see if they come back alive and then follow those tips to get them to a close. And also, one more last thing I'm going to give as a power tip is when you get to the close the deal. Give them the contract, be quick, make it as easy as possible for your client. If they say, I'm ready to book today, say, you know what? Let's do it together. Can I have the contract? I'll have it to you by end of day. Make it as simple as possible. Don't let them sit on it for too long and don't start talking yourself out of it. You already sold the value. Now you just need them to pay. So take those tips today. And until next time, don't forget to keep asking for it. Thank you for listening to Ask For It. If this episode was helpful, I'd love if you subscribed and shared it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're ready for a bit more support, I do offer one-on-one coaching. The link's in the show notes if you want to check that out. Until next time, keep showing up and don't forget to ask for it.